Mr. Hargrave here, live on Twitch, and we are talking about the Astonishing X-Men today. We're going to do another in my series of budget builds. Oh, guys, it's not going to be cheap. The Astonishing X-Men are an expensive team. Is it worth it? We will answer that as we go through, of course. It's debatable. It's debatable. Just off the top of my head, just what I know about the team and what I know about the coming meta, X Factor is going to blow these guys away. Is it worth it? They're going to be a solid war team, and we'll look at what the minimum T4, the minimum ability upgrades. We're going to talk about T4s, Tier 4 ability upgrades. And what that is the final level of abilities on a character. So let's look at one that does. I have most of these maxed out, by the way. I love the X-Men. You see this one here, it's level 6. It has the dot on it there. That means I got enough T4 abilities. The orange ability materials. That's what we're talking about today. All right, let's go ahead and let's get started with Beast. As you can see, I've maxed out Beast. A big X-Men fan. Okay, so I had him maxed out before this team even dropped. Let's start adding it up. All right, what we're gonna look at here. This is a raid team, so that's the problem. That's why it gets expensive. It's not always gonna. This isn't gonna hold. This isn't gonna hold in the raid meta. X Factor is gonna be better. I have a feeling X Factor is gonna be your mutant raid team. This is gonna be your X-Men raid team, which only gets used on the beta. On the beta, you can't use X Factor because they're mutants. They're not X-Men. These guys all still count as X-Men, so it's fine. But X Factor will not. They don't have that tag. So that's what we got to think about when we're doing this. Is that okay? Let's get into it. Let's think about them because they're a great war team. They can take down. I think there's a video out there of them taking down Black Order, if they're big enough, if they're crazy enough. Okay, let's look at the Beast Basic. Not necessary. Just extra damage to primary and secondary. Much better than other people will tell you, because he always is assisting. He hits multiple targets. This is going off all the time. So it's not trash, but it's not necessary. You don't need it, especially if we're on a budget. All right, now we're looking at his special. Ooh, this got a huge buff. So normally it was just damage, but now it clears 2 negative effects from self and all Astonishing X-Men allies. Not necessary, very good. This is an A rank one. This is a good one though. Not anything to sleep on. Definitely good, especially if you're running in raids. Applies some regeneration to self and all mutant allies up until it was upgraded. I don't know. Don't need it. Don't need it for war. We're looking at this for war. Minimum build for war. That's where the budget is. You're going to have to go all in on it for raids. That's expensive. Plus 10 resistance. Don't need it. All right, so you don't need anything from Beast if you're on a budget. The best thing here is his special. That's an awesome buff, especially for the Astonishing X-Men team. But on a budget, you don't need anything. He's fine. Jubilee. Maxed her out. She's going to be great. I'm going to take her to tier 15 for Dark Dimension. Jubilee's an amazing character. The blinds are so cool. You might actually find yourself using your Astonishing X-Men on difficult nodes where you want to blind and stun everyone, instead of just outright destroy them with X Factor. I mean, you make the call. Do you want to blind and stun everybody or just destroy everybody? I don't know. Anyways, we're looking at Jubilee. Ups her chance to blind. It always blinds in raids, so you don't have to worry about that. However, in war, we're going to want the extra chance to blind. We're going to do Jubilee's basic. Her basic is definitely an S tier because we want those blinds in war. And that's going to cost us 180. Okay, so moving on. Going to her special. This is necessary for war. If you want to be effective in war, you're going to need her special. I kind of feel like we're just going to upgrade her whole kit. And specials are at 220. I mean, that's just going to kill somebody. That's just going to kill one of the characters. It's going to remove them from the board. Get an assist from all. Whenever you go from a number to all, it's normally an S rank. And this is an S rank, 100%. Got to do that one. All right, her ult Oh, this is a huge ult. This is a nasty. I mean, this thing, this destroys. Plus 100% damage to primary target. My question is do you get to use it over the special? It's huge. It's definitely A rank. Is it necessary? Only if you find yourself failing would I go into that one on a budget. If budget is not an issue, if you love the X-Men, just do it. It's definitely A rank, but let's hold on it for now. Her passive. Yeah, you need this. I mean, she's so expensive. Most of your cost is right here. I'm going to try to see if we can get away with not buying anything else. And that's 200 for that. I'm going to try to see if we can get away with not buying anything else because these are so essential on Jubilee. I can't see you winning in war without her basic, special, and passive. And probably, you might need the ult too. She's a legendary. Usually, I mean, I think all legendaries are worth maxing. Most of them, and the new ones, maybe not when we go back to like Fury or something. We'll do that too. We'll do all the teams. People ask me, you're going to do all the teams? I'm going to do all the teams. Okay, Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde. I do like her. Let's see if her kit is worth it. Is it going to help? No, this is very good. A rank, definitely. Clearing positive effects is cool. Don't need it. Lockheed Blast, her special. Don't need it. Very good. B rank. Don't need it. Really going to try. I haven't done this one. No, it's just extra damage. Don't need it. We're looking at her passive. Gain stealth for 2 turns. Get some more healing. Always apply. Always apply. Evade. That's huge. What's it normally? Can't even see what it is normally, but it's not always. All right. Kitty Pryde. Her passive is a must-have for war. It's another 200. It's expensive. Expensive war team. Effective war team, but expensive. Not a budget team at all. Not a budget team at all. If you're looking for a budget team for war to do what they can do, I don't even know if you can find it because they do everything. But whatever you're thinking about using them on, might want to consider a different team if you're really on a budget. All right, look at Iceman's basic. Just extra damage, don't need it. All their basics are great, by the way. Don't think their basics aren't great because they always assist each other on everything. So upgrading their basic increases their assist damage. Epic. All right, his special, no, not just extra damage. No worries. When I say like I write that off, I do that a lot of these extra damage. Don't worry. Some of those are really like a lot of extra damage and really good. But when we're talking about a budget, as long as you're punching down enough in war with the team, getting an extra, even a massive amount of damage might not matter if you're just controlling the match so hard. Those are, and when we're talking on a budget here, you know, if you want to punch up and you gotta max this stuff out. That's what that is. And that's why you run into problems when you try to punch up, is you don't have all this stuff maxed out, and you're trying to do stuff you've seen someone do who does have everything maxed out, and it's like totally different damage calculations. On a budget, we're just going for like those minimum, huge bang for your bucks, usually increasing effects to like 3 characters to all characters, raising a percentage to an all. Those are like our budget. That's what we really look for when a team like goes to like the next level of effectiveness. More damage on this, add some more barrier. It's cool, don't need it. Looking at his passive, plus 30% piercing on enemy turn. Oh, that's really good. Reduce armor for everyone with slow, reduce damage for everyone with slow. This is A rank, and I'm going to put a note on it. I'm going to skip it, but it's really on the cusp of an S rank. I'm going to say A rank and give you the price with it and without it. Very good passive on Iceman to upgrade, but maybe not necessary. All right, Bishop, your team is going to live or die in war on your Bishop. The bigger your Bishop, the more you can do with your Astonishing X-Men in war. If he's not big enough, they just don't do enough damage, and they're gonna time out. They'll live. Like if you take them against Marauders and you don't have a big enough Bishop, you'll just time out. You won't die. Emma will outlast you. All right, so we're looking at his basic. Not necessary. Once again, I mean, his basic's awesome. Especially if you set him up as a striker, you get an extra value out of that. And when he counters the basic damage. So it's a very good basic. But let's just assume we're on a budget. We're trying to keep the cost low. more damaged. I got to do all, honestly, for my level in war, I'm up here in the top 20. We got to do all these. This is non-optional. But if you're lower down this stuff, it's just the extra damage stuff. You don't need it. I mean, it's huge extra damage, though. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. These abilities are so big with him. It just scales up. It gets nuts. Not having these is making my bishop like just a worse character for not having them. They're really detrimental. So I can't tell you that they're not important. I mean, they're basically S rank, all of this. But on a budget, do you need it? Maybe not, especially if you're doing like what I'm doing with my Astonishing X-Men, is I'm punching down like 100 or like 100K, because mine are like 400K. I find a nice like 300K team that would like give me problems, like a Mercs or something, that like a weak Mercs or anything weak that would give like another weak team problems. X-Men just steamrolls. So that's what I'm using them for. It's just a nice easy win that I've gone decently in on because I use them in raids. But I haven't like gone all the way in on, because I'm not relying upon them to like kill the biggest teams. Okay, looking at Bishop's passive, taunt, 10% damage reduction, plus 50%. I think he starts with a 50% chance to counterattack, and then he gets another 50%, bringing it to 100% chance to counterattack. Yeah, I mean you can't do without that. So Bishop. His passive, once again, it's an S rank, and it's 200. It's an expensive team. There's no way about it. That's the way they're making these from right now. New teams are mostly all expensive. This one's no different. Just adding up the S ranks, we're looking at 100, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're looking at 1,000 T4s. 1,200 if you want Iceman's passive. That's what you're looking at. That's what you got to decide when you're like, do I want to go in on, can I afford this team? It's going to cost you minimum 1,000. And if you really want it to be good, if you want to get the most out of it, you're going to be approaching like the 2,000. Because all the basics need to be done for raids. All the basics. All of Bishop's kit. Ouch. It's a lot. So that's what you got to consider when you're looking at Astonishing X-Men. Is it worth it? Can I afford it? Can I go in on this? Is X Factor, should I save it for X Factor, who's probably going to be even better in wars? Better in wars and better in raids. Better in all ways. And mutants. So the gear, is it worth the gear? Is it worth the T4s? You got to make the call. Do you need it right now? I got a question here in the chat that came up. They want to know, is it viable for arena defense? Yes, it is viable for arena defense. I do see people using it that way, and I do see it getting wins. Would I put it on arena defense? Hell no. It is way more valuable to me on offense. I would not put this on defense. But if you need a defensive team, if your alliance is defensive, if that's how it goes, it is viable that way. Normal X-Men, I would put original X-Men on defense and put this on offense, because original X-Men is more limited on offense right now. There's less it can do than this can do everything. Original X-Men can do less things, and you will get a guaranteed win, almost guaranteed. You will either get a guaranteed win from your original X-Men on defense, or it will pull a Black Order. So do that. Okay, I got another question here. It says, so they weren't talking about war defense, they were talking about arena defense. Can you use this on arena defense? No, dude, you can't use this on arena. You can't use this on arena defense. Black Order is going to rip this apart. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think any part of this is there might be an arena team once we get all the new meta out with Jubilee and Bishop. They're like the two kind of they have the most synergy. Beast, Kitty Pryde, Iceman, I could see them being phased out at some point. Jubilee and Bishop would be, if you're like looking for like two characters to slot into like other characters. If I took Jubilee, Bishop, Phoenix, Colossus, and maybe Beast or something like that, that actually would be a killer. God damn, I don't want to see that on war defense. I do not want to see that. I do not want to see a T15 Jubilee, T15 Bishop, T15 Phoenix, T15 Colossus, T15 Beast on War Defense. That would be terrifying. I don't even know what that would be. That would definitely give... I mean, it would be a Black Order. It'd be like, all right, just Black Order that monster. That's scary. Let's see if like I said, we do all these videos live on Twitch, so that was basically the video. I might talk a little more here now because there's some people that have joined me. Thank you. I hear my background music's S tier. That's right. It's good stuff. Telling me the level 5 gives extra speed bar reduction for Jubilee's ult. Yeah, no, I mean, their whole... All this stuff is great. It's just when you're on a budget, you gotta really watch out what you're going for, how much you're gonna invest in it. That's the decision you have to make. That's why I'm making these, because I know T4s are in short supply right now, really short supply. So we gotta really be careful with where we put them. All right, everybody, that's it for me. Hail Heartgrave.